There we go.
All right.
So we're live, Chris.
Yes,
So
sir.
in another episode of Game of Thrones. I know that was a boring one, but
Yeah, they really fucked that one up. But
yeah, yeah. It's I don't know. There's a lot. I'm like looking at my notes. I'm like, geez, like there's so much that happened tonight. So should we take it from the top?
let's go from the top.
Okay. So they came out swinging, and it would make sense because so much happened. They could. So we started with John arrives at Dragonstone, man.
Yep. Start off with a bang already.
I did not expect that, to be honest. I was like, whoa, like,
Thought that'd be one of the things they would say for the end, but they was like, we got better stuff, guys.
yeah. And it made sense as it went along because you kind of saw some of the later scenes would kind of point out to you why they started there because there was more that had to happen.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So I thought it would be like something like one of the later scenes and like they would do the other stuff like next time, but, you know. It was cool though, like Tyrion, Daenerys, Jon all in the same room.
All three
Like,
Targaryens.
Conspiracy theories much? Yeah. Yeah, it was a wild way to start the episode though.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed was when Jon Snow, when they called him a Stark, when they were walking up the path,
Oh yeah,
and he
yeah,
said
yeah.
he said I'm not a Stark, and then the dragons flew over. I was like, oh, foreshadow a little bit, guys.
Yeah,
Wanna be a little subtle next
probably,
time?
huh? Yeah, I don't think subtlety was what they were worried
Nope.
about.
This whole episode, nothing was subtle. Everything was right in your
Yeah,
face.
I gotta admit, like we said, the first episode started like with a bang and dropped off, and then we said like the second episode like kind of was slow and built up to a really good ending.
Yep.
You know, this one was just kind of like haymakers left and right. Like it was like a classic Mike Tyson fight. I mean,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
it was going for it from the beginning. What did you think about the whole interaction between Daenerys and Jon? It was like so. You do what I say. You do what I say. Like,
I think
I mean, I was waiting
It
for somebody
turned
to be
out-
like, I'm rubber and you're glue, and, like, what the fuck?
I know Jon Snow is kind of I always put him as more of a pacifist, but he stood his ground,
He
which
did.
was I was not expecting to happen. Like I thought he was gonna be like, oh, if I kneel, then she'll help me out.
Yeah,
Now he was like,
right.
no, I got to get what I need out of this. Like, I don't even care who you are. It's like I've seen things, and it's not great.
Well, perhaps he knows, though, like, if he kneels to her and he's just like, sure, okay, sure, you're the boss, like, he's going to
gonna
go
have
back
to
to the
leave.
north and they're going to be like, dude, fuck you.
So
like,
what about
yeah.
these guys? Nah, whatever, guys. We just got to go fight Cersei, and then we'll be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was smart of what he did.
Yeah, I mean, he would have been no longer the king of the north, that's for sure.
And it's nice that
I don't know if he would have survived the second knife through the heart either. Once is enough
Yeah.
for a lifetime. Or
But-
two.
Daenerys, she thinks that everyone cares about what her path was and what she's dealt with, and having Jon just be like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Having Dave will step in and be like, hold on a second, listen, this guy did the same thing.
Yeah, I like his competitiveness too. He was like, "Oh yeah, well John did this and he did that and he did that. Oh yeah, by the way, he's a bastard." Like
He was a bastard.
he didn't start on third base, bitch. He hit a real home run.
He almost slipped up about him coming back to life. But
Yeah.
I wonder why he stopped, though. I wonder if they were just trying to, like, not get that one going.
Well, think about it. This guy's trying to tell you, "Oh, beware, the army of the dead," right? And then it's like, "Oh yeah, I died already and came back." Like that's a bit tough to handle. I could see why that might be something you don't want to let slip in the first
Don't drop
conversation,
that bomb
you know.
yet. Just don't do it yet.
It's like, "Oh, hi, how you doing? By the way, I had an abortion when I was 16," Like does not need to be first conversation material.
Nope.
So, yeah. Where were we?
Their whole conversation was pretty.
Yeah.
It was more humbling Dany. Like, she realizes that people don't give two shits about where she came from.
I thought her reaction was a little weird, right? Because usually she goes into these things, she's like, okay, I got to kind of work and flex with people. Yeah, because think about how she did everything, like with Marine and all. It wasn't just like, bitch, I'm here, we're going to do it. Like, it was like, oh no, I got to figure out how to make this work with these people too, Like, that's been a lot of what's been going on with her. So, you know.
John kind of humbled her.
Yeah,
by
and
not
she did
giving
the
a
same
shit.
thing with the Dothraki. The only difference is they kind of respect strength, and so she was
Oh,
like,
she
"Here, I'll show you strength,
Burned them
motherfuckers."
all
Yeah.
the fuck
So like,
down.
even though it seems like she's coming off aggressive, she's working around what works for them.
Yeah.
So like, it was just strange. Here she is with her brother, you know, supposedly, and
Nephew.
nephew. Wait,
Yeah.
no. Oh yeah, right, nephew. Sorry. But yeah, so it's like I thought her reaction was just a little unusual. That's all.
It was, and but like I said, I really like the fact that she had to like take a step back. Like it wasn't just going to be an easy like, I'm coming here to do this. It's like, yo, everyone's got an agenda.
I felt bad
Right.
for Tyrion too, because in this, like, everybody's looking at him. And
Mhm.
she's like, I thought you trusted this guy, you know? And John's kind of giving her the look like, dude, she's nuts. Like, you know? Like, Tyrion's just like, fuck. Can't we all just get along, you know?
But he's smart. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Definitely knows what he's doing with that.
Yeah. So, there was also, in that scene, there was that whole, like, Melisandre and Varys thing going on, you know?
Yep.
That was kind of like, I don't know, that was like your typical like creepy Varys stuff going on. But
I think
that,
we met somebody equally creepy.
yeah, and there was that weird last line, like she was like, I have to come back and die in this strange land or whatever.
Yeah, just like you. It's like,
yeah, and that seemed to unnerve Varys, and it takes a lot to unnerve him.
Yep.
Like, and I'm like, what the fuck does that mean?
she saw. She
Yeah.
must have seen him.
But why did either of them have to die there? Like that I don't get. Like I want that answer.
Yeah.
Like the bastards wrote the thing know that too. Because I'm just like, why would you have to die there? You know. Hey, Princess Peach is in the chat. What's going on? How'd you like tonight's episode? Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was kind of creepy, and I want somebody to get back to that. You
I
know.
want to know what she's doing. She's going back to Valente. She's like, this is how she recharges. Like, she's been through so much, she's got to go back to Valantis and get her flame powers back so she can see more.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just want to know why they have to die there. That's what I need to know. Like, maybe for her, it's just where she's going to die, but then I'd be like, well, shit, I ain't going back. Like,
This is like wrecking my brain. I don't know
Yeah.
why she would say that.
Here's one. The next thing we see, Varys comes into the room. He kind of gives her the word, like, oh, shit, you know, like, we fucked.
Yeah.
And then we see Theon gets pulled up out of the water. It's like, dude, why you? Why do you keep living? Like,
Dude,
is he going to be the guy who kills Cersei or something? Like, you know, like...
everyone's lost all faith in anything he could do now.
No, I guess he's going to end up killing Euron, right? Like...
He's gonna have to do something to redeem himself.
Yeah, why would you keep this shitty character around? Yep. Like, you know... Did you see the meme going around about him this week? My Poor Life Choices, a novel by Theon Greyjoy. This is so great. Like, it's perfect.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I couldn't believe he was back. Thank God they didn't give him a lot of screen time, because I was just like, I can't do you right now, Theon. Like, we need some time apart. So, yeah. I also liked how when they realized, like, that he was a little bitch and didn't do anything,
Yep.
they all just walked around and got back to their business, and he's, like, sitting there all shivering cold, like,
nobody
half
helps him
dead.
up.
Yeah,
like,
just like, whatever. You're
dude.
dead to us, man. Just lay there if you want.
The fact that they didn't want to kill him.
Now, they went from Theon, who I can't stand, Mal Reynolds, definitely guy, because Theon,
Definitely a
Wiener is good. What was the word I was thinking of for Theon? Damn.
Pussy?
No, I had something. He was just, I don't know. I can't think of it. Weasel. Weasel was the word.
Weasel.
Yes, because that's what Theon reminds me of. But we went from Theon to all of a sudden we go back to the other end of the spectrum to Euron, dragging all his prisoners through King's Landing. And I'm just like, I'm starting to like this crazy motherfucker.
Dude,
like,
yeah.
every week he's like the best part of the show. Like,
The most likable
yeah, he's
antagonist in the
always
series.
doing some nut ass shit. I love it. You know? Yeah, what was it? Oh, yeah, he was dragging, what was it?
Asha?
Yeah, through the thing, and he's like, you know, talking about other people, and he's like, yeah, got him in, it's making me hard. And I was just like, oh my God, you know.
No, this theatrical is perfect. It's something they don't have.
Everybody's so damn serious except for like Tyrion. So like we need Euron to kind of spice it up. He's like the WWE heel, you know? He's like he comes in, he's got entrance music and everything, like
but he's theatrical. He just loves chaos. He's like, I don't really hate him for what he does.
Yeah, I know. You seem like he'd be perfectly happy to lose in an epic battle. Like, dude, It was awesome. You should have been there. You know.
Yeah, that in 2 episodes we went from.
This was something I was going to get to at the end, but since they brought it up in the chat here, because I remember we did the conclusion episode at the end of last season. We were kind of like, well, Cersei got the throne, but she's fucking screwed. Like, everybody hates her, surrounded by enemies, and all of a sudden it's like, bam, bam, like.
Yep.
Cersei's like, yeah, we're doing all right. Oh, we got Revenant in the chat. Nice. What's going on, man? How'd you like the episode tonight? Yeah. So Euron's stuff was cool. And
it's
he
still
did
throwing haymakers at Jaime.
Oh my god, dude.
Non-stop.
Haymakers. I think he's trying to, like, you know, to
out.
kind of reference his own stuff. He's trying to finger him in the butt, man. Like, haymakers would be to piss you off. He's trying to get under his skin, man.
Dude, he's
like,
already there.
That's true. He is way there.
We'll get to this later, but I think Jaime's going to crack in this season. Like, there's too much going on where he's going to crack. Like,
Yeah.
You got Euron constantly getting under his skin. You know, you got Elena who's like, well, we'll get to that. We'll get to it.
Yeah, that's at the end here. But, so he gave over the Dornish chicks, and we kind of talked about that last week, that Cersei was probably going to
fuck her
kill
up.
the daughter.
But
what I didn't expect was I'm going to let you live and watch your daughter's desiccated corpse. Like, wow.
Force feeding you to watch her die.
That was a stroke of pure evil right there.
Yep.
So, yeah. Because I thought it was going to be the mountain was going to, you know, do like Pringles. Once you pop, you can't stop.
That's what I thought.
1, 2, bam, bam.
Mountain's there. Some shit's about to go down.
Nope.
And maybe Qyburn, like, reanimates her so you can keep watching her die over and over again.
Oh, yeah. Mal, definitely. We talked about Jaime probably being the one to kill Cersei, you know. Get his second Kingslayer achievement, you know.
It's part of one of the prophecies they had. One of their multiple stories where... the Azor Ahai thing. The whole Red Priest and all of them talking about Azor Ahai. And how, in order for him to get his flaming sword, he had to kill the one he loved. And so it's like, maybe that's Jaime's whole thing. It would be very Game of Thrones like if all of a sudden Jaime's meant to be the hero.
Yeah, I could see that being a very George Railroad Martin thing to do. So
wow, Railroad Martin.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Oh man,
yeah, but I think
Revenant. I just want to address this comment here. He said Olenna being added to the list of favorite characters who have died. That's a lot to pick from, man. Like, that's a big list of characters to pick from with this show.
The best way to watch this show is to watch it.
Dude, Mal hit it on the head.
Yep.
The Kingslayer and the Queenslayer didn't even really...
And he'll still be hated.
Yep.
He'll still be hated.
Yeah, probably.
Yep.
No, he'll probably die.
Nah. I think he'll find some way out of it. I think Jaime's one of the few people that will live.
That'd be weird.
Although the trailer for the season showed him like charging in fire, so who knows what happens.
I was just thinking like he kills Cersei, the mountain kills him, you know, and then yeah. Tyrion, the last Lannister.
Can you deal with Jon dying again? We've already seen Jon die. We've all been pissed before.
Yeah. that I wouldn't roll dice on a second Jon death.
Yeah, he's got plot armor.
Yeah. Oh, what if
pretty thick plot armor.
Here's a question: if he falls off a dragon and splats to the ground,
can't reanimate.
Yeah, his body needs to be like kind of in mostly one piece, right? Like, you know. Also, have we ever seen Jon get burned?
Yeah, in the first season when the White Walker.
That was what I thought. I was just curious if he might have some protection from fire, you know.
No. I think he has too much dark blood too.
Yeah. All right. So what else? Okay. Yeah, we had the thing in the dungeon. Oh, one of the smaller things that I kind of almost wasn't fully paying attention to was the visitor from Bravos.
Oh yeah, from the Iron Bank.
which turned out being far more important than I had first realized. I was like, oh, this is a get up and get a drink scene. No,
Nope.
it wasn't.
Nope.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, I mean, because there was a lot of foreshadowing there, and between what happened at the end of the episode and what we saw in the preview from next week's episode, you could see how
Why he was
yeah,
important for this
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah. Just catching up with the chat comments here. I see we got a few more viewers. If you want to join the chat, by all means, let us know what you think of the episode or your own crazy theories. Okay, so we got the guy from Bravos. They're talking about finances, and Cersei's like, "Oh, we'll have our debts paid off in 2 weeks." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "This is like posturing,
Yeah,
like
I thought
she's just trying to buy time,
Dude, this chick's constantly thinking.
Yeah, I gotta admit, at this point, she is definitely outsmarting everybody, including her own brother.
Yep.
So, I mean, she's got the upper hand on everybody,
It's crazy.
So after that, we get back to the brooding scene. Are you ready for some brooding? Jon and Tyrion, again, they're meeting up on a high cliff. Like, first there was the wall, and then now they're up on a cliff. It's like they have this thing for meeting in, like, high places.
Foreshadowing, maybe?
Some good dialogue, though, from Tyrion,
Oh, yeah. Always. Always from Tyrion.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was an interesting conversation, though, like, and then you kind of saw the manipulation of Tyrion, kind of, why don't you just be a little nicer, give a little, and then he's talking to Daenerys, and he's like, just be a little nicer, give a little, What was interesting, though, was the whole thing with Dragonglass. Because with everything else going on, I'd totally forgotten about the Dragonglass and the Dragonstone.
I've been waiting for him to say something about it.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, so long. Jon, just say that's what you're there for, man. Like, yeah, the White Walker and stuff, she's not going to leave it. Just say the Dragonglass. We'll just solve all issues.
Yeah. So it was kind of cool that Daenerys was like, all right, well, whatever, you can have it, And
it's because she knows she's going to need him. But now, we'll get to this.
Yeah. I mean, the situation got even worse after that, But we also did find out that it wasn't the whole fleet that got destroyed at the end of the episode, because that was one of our big questions.
Yep.
We also found out the whole fleet wasn't there. So, unfortunately, by the end of the episode, we find out that they'd lose even more ships. So,
why won't Jon bow to her? Because if he bows, he loses who he is. He's the king of the North. If he bows to her, he's just the warden of the North, which means whenever she calls for him, he has to go. So that means if the White Walkers come down and she calls...
See, I liked a lot, too. We didn't get to this. I kind of forgot about it. But I liked what Jon said when she was like, well, I shouldn't be beholden to the acts of my father. And then Jon was like, yeah, well, I'm not beholden to the agreements of my ancestors. So, we're good. But I was kind of waiting for him to be like, why should I follow you? Instead, it was just like, I'm not going to follow you. And it was like, well... That's an unreasonable position. Like, you can ask the question, okay, you want me to follow you, why? But that never got asked.
Yeah,
although
there was a lot of, like...
In their later dialogue, it started to turn a little more in that direction.
Yeah, but there was a lot of, like...
Dick waving?
Just say this, Jon. Just say what you need, Jon.
Yeah.
Like, why are you acting all, like, hiding all this information? Just, like, say it. But other than that, he did get what he needed.
I also like how, like, he's, the guy who comes running into the room like, oh my god, we're all gonna die. Unicorns and goblins are coming for us. Like, that's a bit tough to take,
He went only because of the Dragonglass. That was it.
Yeah, he did want that, so, yeah.
It was Dragonglass and dragons. If he can get one of those, he's alright.
Who would have a higher claim to the throne, Jon or Daenerys? Because Daenerys is...
Daenerys does.
I don't know, because she's the sister, but Jon's
the prince.
Yeah, Rhaegar was never actually the king.
Yeah.
He was to be, but... He was the heir apparent, but he never actually was.
And bastards don't have... Because he's still a bastard, even though...
Right, yeah. Unless Rhaegar was married? Secretly?
Rhaegar was married.
Or no, he was already married. You're right to Martell.
Yep.
Yeah. Never mind. I was thinking of him and Elena had a a secret marriage,
Oh, yeah.
but that couldn't have happened at that point. Yeah. No, because they couldn't have been because he was already married.
They weren't married. She was having a bastard child of his.
Yeah, because he was already married to the Martell
Yep.
broad.
Which is the only reason why the rebellion happened was because Robert wanted Lyanna.
Yeah, that's it. Yes, that's it. Sorry, I said the wrong name a second ago. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, so I guess we still noted, yeah.
Daenerys still has the...
Yeah, she would still have the claim.
Yep.
Or at least it would seem that way. Yeah, so Jon and Tyrion had their cool discussion up on the cliff, and then Daenerys and Tyrion had their discussion, you know, when you started to see things kind of falling apart a bit, you know. And then Daenerys and Jon had their conversation. And it was going okay. And then it just abruptly ended. The guy didn't get that. She was just like, you should get to work. I was like, okay.
Yep.
Like, somebody just didn't want to dive deeper into this right now. They were like, we'll do that in a future episode. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Interesting thought.
Yeah. I think the Targaryens, because they're part of the Stormlands, use the last name Storm for bastards.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Okay.
But I don't think they actually have bastards. I don't know.
I thought Storm was the Baratheons.
It's a bastard names are from the area.
Yeah.
So if they're in the Stormlands, they use Storm. If they're in the North, they use Snow.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't know that the Targaryens would use the same one though.
That's why I don't know if they have their own.
There's probably a wiki out there.
Or if they even have bastards, they slept with their own family members.
That's true too. Yeah. Kind of hard to bastardize that way, huh? Cat. Knock it off, Emrys. Silly cat. Always wants attention. Okay, so after the triad of conversations, all three of them couldn't get together in the same room. It had to be 2 and 2 and 2.
Yep.
Then we got to something I really liked, which was Sansa running things over in Winterfell. That was a pretty cool scene because she's immediately this isn't adequate. This isn't adequate.
Yep.
You know.
Change this. Do this. Oh,
yeah.
What's wrong with this armor? Put some leather on that. Let's keep walking. It was like, damn, Sansa, all right.
Yeah, I mean, she really had her shit under control. Mm-hmm. But then I kind of pointed out that, she kind of got one guy to leave, then got another guy to leave, and it was like, did she do that just to get a minute alone with Littlefinger? And I was like, and why would she do that? Because it seemed so obvious she was trying to get rid of people,
No.
Busy them up. I don't know.
I think she was trying to get shit done and just happened to have Littlefinger there.
I don't know. It was odd. But then the
Blackfire.
conversation...
He's right. It is.
There we go. Okay. What was it? The conversation between Sansa and Littlefinger.
Mm-hmm.
And he just got into some deep shit. He was like...
That's what he's been doing his whole time. That's why he's quiet half the time.
Yep. But it was just such a cool conversation,
Yeah, he definitely was getting hard on throughout that conversation.
He was constantly getting closer to her, wasn't he?
Quieter, closer, eyes squinty.
He was getting that kind of heavy breathing thing between words. Yeah, it just... I don't know. What he was saying, though, was all, it made a lot of sense. You saw Sansa kind of oh, right, that's why I keep him around, because he is kind of useful.
Yep.
He knows some good shit, Sometimes he gets a little too...
He's just showing her how to play, 4D interstellar chess,
Yeah.
While your opponents are playing regular chess.
Well, you know what? With the way Cersei's playing the game right now, yeah, you better be playing some
Cersei's
super shit.
Ahead of everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, so I thought that was a pretty cool scene, but then it gets interrupted because Bran's back. Time for some fiber intake.
Dude,
Gotcha.
Bran, I am the three-eyed Carl. Let me tell you about the night you got raped. Yo, chill, man.
Dude, that got so dark so fast. I was like, Bran, dude, chill out. So, you know who he reminded me of? Remember Glenn, the guy from the diner in Wayne's World? That's Bran now. Bran is
Dude,
Glenn.
No,
You know?
see, Bran just hit his teenage days, and he's just going through a phase right now.
I know.
Everything's dark and gloomy.
He's in his Hot Topic era. I
You
get
know,
it.
that's what
Yeah.
happens. You know, you get to that point.
Yeah. It was just nuts, though. I mean, like, he just two scoops of raisins. Yeah. Mal Reynolds brings it up in the chat here that he wanted Bran to tell Sansa about Jon, but did like that when she said something about Jon. He was like, "Yeah, I got to talk to Jon," you
Yep.
know, which makes me think he's going to be like dead before or gone or something's going to happen.
Something's
he
going to
can-
happen where
Like
he doesn't
Jon's
get
just
that
not
conversation.
finding this shit out. Like it's not happening.
Dude, he's kind of like aimlessly wandering around. Like he'll have a goal, and he'll go there, and then something changes his direction every single time. That dude has never done exactly what he wanted to do besides kill Ramsay.
Oh, I thought you were just messing with us and you're going to keep putting snow in the list like every other time, you know? Waters. Okay. Sand, snow, pike. That's not very imaginative. Sounds about right for the Iron Isles.
From Pike, your last name is Pike.
Yeah, that's not confusing at all. Wait, Princess Peach thinks Sansa will die? I don't know, man. She's got that like Theon Survivor shit going on, like just.
Sansa's in a very good position. The only way she dies is if she leaves Winterfell.
Yeah, I don't know.
Littlefinger wants to bone her, so
Hey.
he's not going to do it.
You know what? I was just thinking this though. You know how like Arya's headed back to Winterfell now, and it was like she was on her way to King's Landing to kill the Queen. It was kind of like, well, no rush for that. You're okay. When that scene happened, it was like, yeah, you can get to her later. Go see your family. And that's kind of like, shit, I really wish she would have went and killed the fucking
you went
Queen.
the wrong
Like,
way,
yeah,
Arya.
like shit
fucking
is getting
man,
bad.
you gotta
Like,
get back in there.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man. Sam finding out, he would immediately send a thing to Jon. But I don't know how that'll affect the story. I know this is something we all want. What is happening?
We got cat interference. That's okay. She just wants attention.
Yep. Yeah, I honestly don't think anything changes if they find out he's a Targaryen. Because Jon's gonna be like, I don't fucking care, man. Like, White Walkers, dude.
Exactly.
The Night's King.
That seems to be all he cares about,
Yeah.
you know?
Who cares what blood I have, man? I'm supposed to ride a dragon? Well, can I use one?
Yeah, right?
What's the point of telling me this? Yeah, Sam could find out in those papers and then start spreading it out there, but
That's interesting.
then that means Sansa would be the Queen of the North.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
Bran
well,
doesn't
Bran,
want
yeah.
it. Can you just think of this for a minute, right? So you have Arya, who's got her own thing. She's going to come back to Winterfell, but she's going to leave, right? That's one Stark said, "Nah, screw this, guys. I got other things to take care of." Bran's got his own thing now. He doesn't want anything to do with it. Sansa's really the only one.
They're all just giving up the family business.
Yeah,
like, nah, I'm
and
gonna,
John's going to find out he's a Targaryen. He's going to be like, well, I don't care. Like, I need to go stop the Night's King. Sansa, you got it.
Yeah.
I'm not a Stark.
Man. You know, I get that Emrys is trying to tell me something, but, like, it can wait. She's not being appropriate. I mean, she's trying to get on camera. It's like dealing with a little kid. Like, she wants her 15 minutes of fame. And Chris has to be up for work in the morning, so we don't have time for that. Yeah. Actually, you brought up Sam. So after that, they cut to Sam and Jorah.
Yep.
You know. And Jorah looked a lot better. Not great, but better.
Just some skin, some scabs,
Yeah.
some scars. He's all right.
I like how he tells the guy, he's like, I just felt better.
The climate.
Yeah, just, what did you know? So, I thought that was kind of funny. And of course, the guy already sussed it out. I mean,
Yeah,
you know.
not dumb.
And Sam's just like, yeah, I'm in trouble. You know, you're alive. Like, I was expecting him to be like, you know, hey, since I saved your life, you want to help my buddy Jon Snow out? Like, and he didn't say that. And I was like,
Nah.
damn. You know.
You probably see that sword that he had, Longclaw. Like,
Oh.
yo, that was supposed to be mine, dude. My family sword.
I thought it was interesting because at the end, Sam ends up having to like redo all the scrolls and texts and everything. And I'm like, dude, you're not scooping poo. Like, that's kind of actually
That's
an
a step
upgrade.
up.
Like that's a promotion.
Step up, man. He's just got to rewrite some things.
Yeah, like I don't know. I thought
now he's going to learn a lot more about what's happening.
Yeah, because he's going to read the things. He's the kind of dude who will read your diary. Like he wants to know everything that's going on with everything.
Yep.
Yeah. And then shit got real. Because then they got into the Casterly Rock thing.
Yeah.
And
I gotta say, I like the way they did that.
It was set up so great, like with the voiceover of all the action.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And like Tyrion gets into how he designed the sewer system and everything. And I had that feeling, because of that scene from Bravos, that like something might be up, because it was like, you knew from a few seasons ago when Tywin told Cersei that the mines had gone dry,
Oh yeah,
like
that's right, yeah.
So like you kind of felt like maybe Casterly Rock didn't have that same like value it did before.
That's why they kept Marjorie around, because she had the money.
Yeah, right. They needed their money. Yeah. But it just I never fully got to the point where I saw what was about to unfold. Yep. Like when it happened, all the gears clicked into place, and it's like, oh, they were setting this up all along,
Mm-hmm.
So like they easily take Casterly Rock, and then you start to see the concern, because they're like, where is everyone, and
you see Big Dick Urine in the background blowing everything up.
Yeah, you notice he's on the biggest ship in the fleet. Yeah. But yeah, you see the ships burning, and it's like, geez, more of the fleet's ruined?
Yeah,
like,
dude. Daenerys is in a very shitty situation.
Yes, she is. Thank God most of Westeros is land. If they were fighting this battle in the ocean, she'd have done lost already.
She still has the Dothraki.
That's true.
Yep.
And she still has dragons.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
she is unsullied for a little bit, but I don't think for much longer. It's looking grim.
Well, they can fight better on land than guys who are naval.
Hey, that's true, yeah. But their problem is they're
stranded there.
Yeah, well, I guess they're gonna. Well, really, what they're gonna have to do is march back across Westeros now to get all the way. Yeah, like that's gonna be a while. Like, send a raven and tell them, just go hook up with those guys in Winterfell. Like, yeah.
Yeah, that's really all she has to do is just send a dragon straight across Westeros, straight over to Casterly Rock, burn up Euron's fleet, and then fly back, and they're all good.
Yeah.
Why aren't they using the goddamn dragons? Is there like a CGI budget?
Well, I assume one of the dragons is going to die, right? That ballista's taking one of them out, and then they're going to say, oh shit, dragons aren't immortal. That's why they're not around anymore.
But they already knew this when he got injured from that first scene. The one
I guess
that was
they
like
didn't put it together.
Better than
Remember,
Star Wars,
she
Clone
left.
Wars.
She was like, all right, I'm going to go walk around. Like, this isn't fucking Breath of the Wild, bitch. Like, you need to fucking do something. Like, not just go wandering off. Like, I'm going to go have my own open world adventure now.
Dude,
like
that whole series when she leaves like that.
Yeah, it was all weird.
In the book, it was even worse, man. Dude was describing her, like, diarrhea. She got, like, dysentery or something.
Oh, God.
Like, it was so bad.
Okay, so maybe I have a new...
This is a lot better.
Yeah, I have a whole new viewpoint on that.
Yep.
Okay. And then they started, the question obviously became, well, where are all the Lannister soldiers? And then we see them marching on Highgarden. And
there was a thing they did. So Tyrion talks about impregnating.
Yes,
yeah.
And
he says, I got 10 good men, and we'll impregnate the bitch. And then they show Bronn charging in with Jaime. It was like, hey, that was Bronn's line from when he was talking about the Vale.
Yeah.
Yep. Or the Eyrie.
Interesting.
There's only 3 eggs. I doubt she's got more. I mean, there could be more.
Oh my god, that's actually perfect. Princess Peach says Viserion should die. That seems about right.
Seems right, but she named all 3 of her dragons off of dead people.
Yeah, that's pretty...
Viserion, Drogon, and...
That's like naming all your kids after dead friends.
Yep.
It's probably not a good idea.
It's not a good idea. They all died short. They had short lives. It wasn't like they were long-lived people.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Rhaegar took a hammer to the chest.
Yeah,
Viserys, oh, jeez. He
he
got a hella crown. I mean, he always was a hothead, though, right?
Chrome Dome.
um, oh, and yeah, well, oh, and she murdered her husband, that's right. You know.
Well, not on purpose.
No, just out of stupidity,
Yep.
which I still count as murder, because there's no excuse for being stupid.
She wanted him healed, man.
Yeah, dumbass.
But then that gave birth to the dragons, right?
That's true. That's true. Yeah. So her husband died so she could have a better life. Sounds about like regular, normal world. Like, it's not even fantasy now anymore.
Volantis, or Melisandre's.
Yeah. I don't know shit about it.
Don't they have Valerians too? Isn't that where it came
possible.
from? I'm not sure where you're going with this.
Okay, well, there's some interesting shit in there anyway.
Yeah.
Mal is just bringing hardcore information in, man. Like, yeah. Not for the faint of heart. We're those who are like, I want to see blood and sex. You know. This is the real shit right here. Yeah. So, the High Garden Siege, it actually looked easy. And then when he went up to talk, and she asked, how'd we do? And I was waiting for him to say, you fought well. And he was like, She was like, yeah, that's not really our thing. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So it was as easy as it looked, apparently. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And then the conversation was pretty interesting. Like, where I thought he was just going to be like, okay, it's your time to go. You know. Do like a little brand sequel, push her out the window or something, you know, like, no, it got much more interesting than that. And
yeah, that was that conversation. I was like, all right, where are they going with this? Where is it? It's just gonna be back and forth, Elena, and then it got real.
Yeah.
Then it got real and great.
Yes. I mean, when she started really talking about like Cersei and what, you know, her being a disease and all the shit going on there, and then when she started basically saying, "Oh, by the way, I killed your son," you know, and
going out like a badass.
You just saw Jamie have the like head slap moment, like, you know, just like fuck.
Like,
oh my god, we all dropped the ball on that one, like every last one of us.
Yep, because they kept her around for a lot longer, thinking that it was Tyrion.
Yeah, yeah, and not only that, but then everything that ensued because of that. Because you brought it up earlier that Oberyn ended up fighting for Tyrion, which caused Dorne to be enemies, and like all this shit that basically went south because they were too quick to pass judgment, you know. Yep. But who's the one who passed that judgment?
Cersei.
And who's the one who let her do it?
Jaime, guys, let her do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, how beautiful of a final stroke is that?
Yep.
You know, because she basically is telling him by admitting that, she's basically saying, like, this is what she does. Like, you know, and you keep letting it happen.
Tyrion probably would have stayed a lot longer.
Yeah. He'd probably still be around, not helping Daenerys.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Granted, that's not really helping him right now. Like, he's not really helping Daenerys right now.
No, because his sister knows him, and he's being conventional in that sense. So what the key will be for Daenerys' side is to start being more unpredictable. Because Cersei has got them all outmaneuvered right now.
I think Tyrion underestimated Cersei's actual brain.
I think everybody underestimated her because she was surrounded and just thought, well, she can't win.
Yep.
They all just assumed it was over, you know. Now, I'll ask the chat room for some help here. For those who watch the preview for next week, just put any thoughts about the things you saw there, because I'm having a little trouble remembering a lot of the preview. What do you remember from it?
From the preview?
Yeah.
I remember seeing...
Daenerys was super upset. That was the thing.
Daenerys was upset.
Yeah, because she finds out about the Casterly Rock blunder.
Yep. We saw Jon going into the caverns to go find the dragon glass. Yeah, I don't remember seeing much after that. Yeah, I don't remember much.
Yeah, I remember that, and I remember thinking this is when things are really going to get.
A dragon was flying.
Yeah, which makes me think they're going to start that use the dragons. Oh, they said something about uh, there was something in there, wasn't there, about not being afraid to fight or something, or being a dragon or something like that. Something that referenced one of them old conversations about get in there and get dirty,
What
basically.
Elena was telling her.
Yeah, right. Like, yeah, like start swinging.
Well, I think that's now what's going to happen. Like,
yeah.
Listen, we played the soft way. I'm about to just burn everything. Dothraki are going to land on King's Landing. That's what I think is going to happen. Dothraki and some dragons, and they're just going to come storming in. And
I guess. I mean,
right
Euron's
now,
fleet's got to be all the way out elsewhere,
Euron's
right?
fleet's gone. Highgarden has all the Lannister army. There's nobody there in King's Landing.
Yeah.
Besides the actual watch.
The Lannister army. We also saw, you mentioned Bronn was there, because I was asking about him. Where was he at? We also saw Randall Tarley was there, so they managed to get him. Because I think the last scene we saw last week, that was not confirmed yet.
Yep.
Right? That was still like...
Well, he was... I think it ended with him being confirmed when he said that he'll be the warden. Which
had to be huge, because they couldn't have done the Highgarden plan without him, probably. Because he's the great general, the sworn allegiance to Highgarden. They probably would have had way more trouble taking it over without him.
Yeah, because his army would have been on her side anyway.
Yeah, right.
And he's ruthless.
Yeah. So.
And his son, Dickon.
So great. So great.
Oh, man. This guy.
Yeah. Rumors of Jon's true name. No. Give that to us, man. I'm curious. I'm curious what this rumor is. Man.
It's actually Jon Targaryen.
Jonah. It's Jonah. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess that was huge, because think about it.
Oh, Aegon. Yeah, no, I've heard that one, actually.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa. That would be interesting.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess that Randall Tarley move was huge, though, because had he just stayed loyal, Cersei's whole plan kind of falls apart, because she doesn't get Highgarden, or at least not right away. She can't get the gold to pay off the debts. She can't get the money from Bravos to keep funding the war. Like, so many things don't happen. Like, but
it's so crazy how they were able to manipulate people by giving them what they want.
Yeah.
And they don't even care what's happening. They'll just go against their own people.
Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy. 3 episodes ago, I'd have never seen this coming. Yeah. So.
I didn't think Dorne and Highgarden would be completely dropped out of the.
Well, we don't know that Dorne's out. We just know that she's gone. Like, Dorne is still a nation. They didn't kill everyone.
She was the queen. They killed the king already.
Yeah,
they have no leader now. Somebody's got to step up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they're in disarray, but that's not to say that may not be the last we hear of Dorne. Although there's no characters left we know of there.
Yeah, because they left out half of the good characters in the story. They gave us the shitty Sand Snakes. There's a lot better plot in Dorne.
Yeah, where's Jorah going now that I think about it? Well, he's going to try to meet up
she was
with
in
Daenerys,
Dragonstone, so I'm guessing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he did. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so he'll probably head there. I wonder what his role will be when he meets back up.
He comes back and just like, burn everything, alright? Like, this is... We need to just end this now.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know. He could be an asset, though.
Mm-hmm.
Could see her sending him to Dorne. Like, go rally our allied forces in Dorne and
dude, that's some bullshit.
Together.
Like, this dude went and got healed for you and you're just going to send him away and
yep,
like,
yeah.
Jorah, I'm so glad you're back,
Can you go back to Marine? I left my favorite dragon pin headband there.
You should go on another long journey.
Yeah. Oh, man. I don't know. I thought this week's episode was just pretty awesome, though.
No, it was. It was really good. It was well done.
Yeah, it was just kind of like a lot more... Like, the other episodes have been kind of like peaks and valleys, and like this one was more like straight across the board, just bam, like just kept coming at you with stuff. And then the end, again, that's 2 weeks in a row they kind of came with a strong ending.
Yeah, they had a strong beginning and strong ending.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like we were all waiting for this Jon and Dany thing, but they're notoriously known for like pushing that until like the middle or the end of a. Like,
yeah. I did not think that was going to be how they'd start the episode. So
it was good.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was good. Anything else from the chat about tonight's episode?
Tell you what, though, I'm a little worried about Tyrion's position now.
Well, his advice is not working out so well.
Nope, he's 0 for 2.
Yeah, and Elena's starting to look a lot smarter about what she said. But
Mm-hmm.
the problem is now they're ready in King's Landing for, like...
They got the ballistas.
Yeah, like, that's going to hurt when they lose a dragon. Because
Mm-hmm.
you want to talk about a confidence killer. That'll be it.
So fucking pissed.
Yeah. She's going to hang out with Bran for a while. She's going to get, like, in a dark phase, you know.
Yeah,
and just
no,
kinda
either
like,
that or she's gonna get vicious and become the Mad King.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, man, what if Jorah has to put her down? How
What
messed
if
up would
he
that
is
be?
the prince that was promised? He just comes back, stabs her in the heart, and dude,
I was
that
just
would...
thinking Jaime kills Cersei, Jorah kills Dany, Jon is the bastard king of the 11 kingdoms. I don't know, because he'll find more north of the wall, right?
Yep.
Like, oh man,
her
her brooding face. Yeah,
might be the better one.
yeah, the lot of brooding, man, between Jon and Tyrion and Bran, you know. So
Yeah, dude, Bran's creeping me out, man. Like,
Yeah.
dude, go wheel yourself somewhere, man.
I know. Thank God he doesn't have feet, man. You're just worried what kind of shit he'd get into.
Can you
know.
picture him and Arya are gonna have the oddest like, hey, Bran. He's like, Arya, it's good to see you. Oh,
Yeah.
is he okay? Like, this isn't the Bran we knew before he fell out of a window.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anything else? I don't know. I feel like we kind of hit everything, and for such a busy episode, I thought it would have taken us a little longer to get to everything.
Yeah. No, this was good.
Joe asked, what do the White Walkers want?
What do they want?
I can't think of anything they want. Yeah, like they just... Has anybody... nobody's actually
Yeah,
stopped
what's
it.
their game plan here? It's like, oh, there was a backstory of the Night's King. Oh.
Yeah, nobody's actually stopped to ask him, huh? Like...
There's a whole backstory. They talked
He's
about
just
it with
like
Bran.
Chipotle, you know.
It's warmer in the south. That's all we wanted, guys.
Yeah.
No, there's a whole backstory to the Night's King and the Children of the Forest. It was in the whole last season, but I completely forgot it.
Mm.
They talked about it. They even did like a foreshadowing thing.
Okay.
And now I gotta look that up again because I completely forgot what it was. But his whole thing is he hates. It was an anger towards somebody. It's more revenge.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess at some point we'll get to that. We haven't really seen much of the Army of the Dead this season. We saw one little marching scene. They just wanted to remind us they have giants, and that was about it.
There's giants, guys.
Yeah.
Beware.
Beware the Army of the Dead. They might be giants. You know. I don't know. Yeah, I guess that probably do it for this week.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think I'm pretty much out of stuff here, so yeah. So, all right, guys. Thanks for hanging out in the chat. Hell of an episode, man. Hell of an episode. I don't know how they're gonna follow this up next week. But like I said, we're running out of time, so more and more things have to keep happening.
Yeah, what battles are we going to see?
I feel like it's about time for a little bit of a swing back to Daenerys' side, getting a win now.
Either that
They got to
or...
keep that kind of pendulum going back and forth, so you never really know who's got the upper hand, you know?
It's either that or we get some Hound and Beric Dondarrion action going on.
Yeah, we haven't seen that group in a while, huh? Ever since they buried
Tormund's
that kid.
up at Eastwatch, so something's got to go down there.
Oh, yeah.
I have a feeling that's where...
That's probably where we'll first see the Army of the Dead, right?
Yep, plus the Hound. I think they're all going to meet up there.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, well... Yeah. All right, well, we're going to get out of here for this week. We'll be back next week after the episode. We'll be talking some more Game of Thrones recap nonsense. Thanks to everybody in the chat. You guys had a lot of good stuff going on in there tonight. Lot of info. A lot of info, man.
Mal's got books over there just like...
Yeah. I think he's been doing the Sam Tarley in his spare time. He's just reading everything, you know?
Yep.
Yeah. Good for us, though. It helps.
He's definitely right. That's what it was. they were created to beat the first. To fight the
Yeah,
first
that's what
man.
we saw last
And
season.
so I'm
yeah.
guessing they're continuing fighting the first man because what
Yeah.
else you got to do, man?
I don't know. They don't have PlayStation, so I don't know what you would do. No
Yeah,
Netflix.
like you got nothing out there. You got people afraid of you. You might as well, you know.
Yeah.
You got created for no other reason other than to kill guys. So
When did they start making themselves? I guess becomes the real question.
the Night King must have like just accidentally stumbled upon it.
Yeah.
Just like
It's almost
Oh!
like they represent like machines. Like they were built for something, and then one day became sentient. And we're like, oh, cool.
yeah,
We're gonna do this ourselves
Just
now.
picture him killing some guy because he's just there, and
Yeah.
then all of a sudden he turned. He's like, oh, wait a sec- hold on a second. I gotta try this out a little bit more and start just like experimenting with it. Like, all right, kill this guy.
Yeah.
He comes back, and I kill this one. He also came back. Yeah, no, it should be good.
Oh man. All right, guys, we're getting out of here. As always, you can follow us on Twitter if you want. He's at ChrisBCGC. I'm at the Malgadar, and yeah, we'll see you next week, guys. Thanks for hanging out.